Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Akanakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's titled Diligently, or Diligent, What Does It Really Mean? Alright, so we're here at the blueletterbible.org, alright, using the Strong's. So we got Strong's H81 and 50. All right, the word here is Shanann. All right, we're going to go ahead and play it.
Strong's H8150. Shanann. Shanann.
All right, Shanann. And if we go down to the Strong's info, it's going to give us some of the stuff, but the outline of the biblical usage is where it really, brings it out. So Strong's definition, Shanann, a primitive root to point, transitive or intransitive, intensively to pierce, figuratively to inculcate, to prick, to sharpen, teach diligently, to whet, W-H-E-T, whet, like a whet stone, a stone that sharpens a blade. So down in the outline of the biblical usage, it touched on it a little bit with sharpen, but the biblical usage means to whet, to sharpen, all right, or to sharpen, to teach incisively, okay, or to be pierced. Going down, all right, the scripture of highlight today is Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Let's let it reload here. And this is the title, all right, or the header for Deuteronomy 6 is Obey Yahweh and Prosper. Okay, obey Yahweh and prosper, which means what it means. If you obey the Lord, you will prosper. What does it mean to prosper? To flourish, all right, whether it be in health or wealth or whatever, all right? And not, of course, we're not going to be living lavishly because we are still under the curses, but we're going to be doing good, all right? So down at verse, let's see, where were we? So I want to read up a little bit, but at Deuteronomy 6 and 7, so we'll go from verse 4. Deuteronomy 6 and 4 says, Hear, O Israel, it's of course referring to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as we're known today. It says, the Lord is our power, is one Lord. Right? And that doesn't mean that the Father and the Son are the same people. You get that confused. All right, that means Yahweh is one person. All right, he's an individual. Okay, he's not a body of people. He's one. Okay, he's one Lord. So that also shows you that Yahushua is not a part of Yahweh, as in his physical body. No, they're a part of a body. All right, just as we are part of a body in this ministry, but we are not the same people. All right, we have our each individual bodies, but we're part of a body of people working for one unified cause. Okay, so 6 and 5 again says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power. Oh, Salakia. With all thine heart and with all thine soul and with all thine might. With all thy might. Salakia. I said again, but that would have been in verse 4. Verse 5 was, So again, verse 5, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. So in everything that you got, all right, you give it to the Lord. Verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently, there's the highlight word of the day, unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, and shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Lord thy power shall have brought thee into the land where which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things, which thou fillest not, and wells digged, which thou diggest not, with vineyards and olive tree, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. So these things are in remembrance and a remembrance for us. And one of the things that we're supposed to be doing is teaching diligently, all right, unto our children. All right, not only unto our children, but we teach each other as well, as men. So, and we do that diligently. So, with that, let's go and get with the word diligent. Slack in the car right now, so passenger, don't worry. I remember the apostle saying, you brothers got to be careful, man. You making these lessons, getting scriptures while you're driving. I'm a passenger, don't worry. But diligent says diligent describes someone or something characterized by steady, earnest, and painstaking effort. It implies thoroughness and persistent in tasks. Common synonyms include assiduous, industrious, conscious. That's not conscious, is it? What is this word? And let me see. All right, bear with me just 1 minute. I'll be right back. Sorry for that. I didn't know we were rolling up to the side of a drive-through. My bad. But it says it implies thoroughness and persistent in tasks. But anyway, we're looking up this word conscientious or what is this word?
Conscientious.
Conscientious. If that ain't about a fucking mouthful of a word. Conscientious. Okay. A diligent, meticulous, and responsible person driven by a strong sense of duty to perform tasks accurately and accurately. Conscientious. All right. Industrious, tireless, and painstaking. It frequently is used to describe dedicated workers. Come on now. Dedicated workers, research, or study, such as in a diligent student or a diligent research. So that's what it means there. But really what it means at the end of the day is to sharpen. Okay, to be sharp. All right, and sharpened in wit. All right, now let's get that. What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean to be sharpened in wit or sharpen the mind? Okay, to be sharpened in wit means to possess or develop a keen, quick, and highly alert mind capable of rapid, intelligent, and perceptive thinking. It implies sharpening mental acuity. Man, we're dealing with some words today.
Acuity.
You never hear these words used in a daily mind. The acuity of him is preposterous. Preposterous amount of acuity of such a diligent student. It's ridiculous. Anyway, acuity, the ability to see, hear, or think with great clarity, keenness, or sharpness. Why don't you just say clarity then? All right. So it says it implies, anyway, some words. Acuity, making one more discerning, clever, and intellectually sharp. Examples include solving puzzles, reading challenging books, or playing chess to improve mental agility. Mind you, none of the things that were listed there was careful pronunciation of words. All right. Instead, it was actually being able to do something. You might be able to talk all big and bad and use big words. All right, but you might not be able to really read a expert level book. All right, a college level book, or solve a puzzle, or do actually be able to apply it. So really, it says or play chess to improve mental agility. So the big thing here is the practicality of it. All right, it's the practical knowledge. Not only is it capable of intelligent and perceptive thinking, it's also the ability to use it practically. Because if you can't use the knowledge that you've apparently learned, how smart are you really? Okay, if you know how to all these things about a car, but you can't work on a car, how smart are you really? How are you going to prove to someone you're smart if you can't apply it? Okay, you spent 1 million hours, all right, learning about car engines, but you can't do anything to fix a car engine. What's the point then? It's a waste, right? But yeah, man. So let's see what else we got. So to sharpen, to teach incisively. Let's look what that means. What does it mean? What does it mean to sharpen or to teach or learn incisively? To teach or to learn incisively means to engage in a way that is impressively direct, clear, or sharp in thinking or communication. In an educational context, it involves cutting through complexity to reach the core of a subject, drawing fine distinctions, and expressing difficult ideas with confidence and precision. So there you go. One of the things that we do when we teach is we cut through, complexity, and part of that is what this lesson is cutting through complexity to what does it really mean, breaking down not the big words, all right, no acuity, none of those words, all right. Instead, what are we focused on, right? We're focused on breaking it down into bite-sized bits, all right, to make it as easy to understand for the regular Joe, as they say, right? We don't, not all of us have, linguistic degrees, or, are extremely proficient in literature or any of those type things. So some words, either their meaning or their pronunciation can be confusing. Okay. So that's really what this type of lesson serves, is to make it understandable for anybody. Okay. To make it accessible. Okay. Cutting through the complexity to reach the core of the subject. What does it mean at its core? Okay, and what it means at its core, okay, and that's where we're drawing a fine distinction, is that it literally means to be sharp, to be sharp with it. To be diligent is to be sharp. They say, hey man, you're a diligent brother. That means you're a sharp brother. Okay, if you're diligent with the scriptures, that means you're sharp with them. What does sharp of the mind mean? Let's go and look that up. What does what does sharp in the mind mean? Sharp in the mind. Having a sharp mind means you possess high mental acuity. There it is. Characterize a high mental intelligence. All right, of not only just wisdom, but wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, and intelligence. All right, intelligence, the hard drive amount that you have. All right, the knowledge, the things that you know, and then the learning, you storing it, and then having the wisdom is actually the practical knowledge to be able to draw upon the things that you've quote unquote learned and actually put them into use. Right? Characterized by the ability to think clearly, process information efficiently, and respond to situations with speed and precision. It is a compliment describing someone who is intelligent, quick-witted, and capable of understanding complex problems or jokes almost instantly. And we got to be like that with the scriptures, right? We got to be diligent. Okay, we got to be sharp of the mind. So you see it wet as in a wet stone. If you look up WHET, it's a different type of wet. It's not wet like physical water, but wet. To sharpen a blade like a knife, figuratively, to stimulate appetite, interest, or desire, or stimulate the mind, right? Stimulate the mind. So that's just a little short one. All right, I may or may not make a little extra. Just depends on what the Spirit has. If not, I'll try to post some extra community posts. We'll see how it goes. But we'll get a couple more scriptures. I wanted to get, and you see Psalm 73 and 21. That's dealing with it actually being, sharp isn't sharp in a blade. It says, "Thus thy heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins." So not literally pricked, but not physically, but figuratively. Okay. Literally in Psalms 124, sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper, because they're, likened to, well, I guess not physically, but still. Let's see. Again, figuratively in Proverbs 25 and 18, it looks like most of the time it's figurative. A man that, and I mean it's figurative in the speech, but when a Lord or whoever is coming at you with a sword, he might not be coming at you with a physical sword, but he's coming at you with a death weapon. It says, Proverbs 25 and 18, a man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul and a sword and a sharp arrow. So it's causing you harm. Is he literally coming over with a sharp arrow? No, but it's likened unto it. But yeah, those are the ones that we get. We also get, there should be more than that. There should be Deuteronomy 28 in here. Or is that in the, that's the root. 1 minute. So that's the root word. Give me a minute. I forgot I didn't even have the, I started backwards. Well, at least we went to the root first. All right, that gives us the most information. But we're looking for, come on now. Let me see. 1 minute. Right here, Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Deuteronomy 28 and 1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, of course, that's something that was promised to us if we would have, not gone off. Of course, it starts for us in verse, I believe it's 14. 15. All right. Consequences of disobedience. These are the curses, starting with Deuteronomy 28 and 15 on down. That's what we've got. We didn't get the blessings, not yet. I mean, in a sense, we will, but that's if we would have, listened to the Lord and, diligently, sharply, all right, listen to the voice of the Lord. So if we go here and we look up diligent, right here, diligently, okay. Okay, now this is the, it's not the root word, but the root word, I want to give us the root word. Bear with me. So that's Shanan. You see, it's a primitive root. This is a primitive root as well, but it means the same thing, all right, in a different way. All right, but I forgot to get this as well. Depends on the scriptures, but this one is, let's hear this one.
Strong's H 8085. Shammah. Shammah. And second entry,
It gives me
Shammah.
the ability to go a little bit longer because it was already a little shorter anyway. So, Shammah, a primitive root meaning to hear intelligently, often with implication of attention, obedience, causatively to tell, attentively, carefully, gather together, certainly, consent, consider to be content, All right, in this case, what the Lord was using it in Deuteronomy 28:1 was to consider. All right, to consider His words. Diligent, discern, give ear to. All right, that's another one. Obedient, obey. There's another one. Perceive, proclaim, publish, regard, report, show forth, make a sound, surely, tell, understand, hear, and witness. So many different things, right? So, outline of biblical usage: to hear, to listen, to obey, to hear of or concerning, to hear, have the power to hear with attention or interest to, all right, and to listen and give heed, all right. So these all these are added into what does it really mean? But the deep core of it means to be to sharpen. All right, diligent means to sharpen. All right, to sharpen mentally. All right, with acuity, as it says. But yeah, to cause, to hear, to listen. So not just hear, go in one ear without and out the other, but also to perceive by ear. All right, and to pay attention and have an interest in. Okay, so that's another thing with lessons. All right, when we watch, we're not just watching it; we're also listening to have an interest in, not entertainment, but an interest in actually what's being said. Um, and you can see in Genesis 3:8, that's the first use of it. And they heard the voice of the Lord, Yahweh, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord, Yahweh, amongst the trees of the garden. We just got that the other day. So that talks about hearing. But so here, hearken, it means to hearken. All right. To hear, to hearken, hear. And hearken is really important because what does it mean to hearken? It doesn't mean just to listen, it means to listen and do. Okay? It says to listen attentively, to give heed or pay close attention to. All right? To give respectful attention or listen to. So listen, attend. It really means to listen in agreement. Okay? Let's see. Hear, hear me. So yeah. So it means to hear, to give ear to and again going back to diligence. All right, it really means to listen. Diligence is to listen, but to listen, you also have to have that mental acuity, as they say. You have to have that sharpness of the mind. You have to have that sharpness, that sharp, which comes from the word shanan. All right, this one's shama. All right, the other one was shanan. Okay, so that's pretty much it. All right, got a little bit longer out of it, but that's pretty much it. All right. You can go through here and you want, and there's a whole bunch of scriptures. They're gonna have it. There's gonna be other pages as well, but that's pretty much what we got. Sharpen the mind and to listen and hearken respectfully, and actually listen and take heed to. If there's a warning, you're gonna listen and pay attention to it. All right, because you're sharp in the mind, right? So that's a lesson. We're going to close out there. Lord, what was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Rakak. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.